Yellowhammer Radio. It's at YHN Radio on Twitter, 866-551-9933. Big race coming up out at Talladega Superspeedway. Being the NASCAR fans that I am and Dave is, and Andrea, we're trying to make Andrea a NASCAR fan.
Mm-hmm.
Living up north all these years, comes down south, lives near Talladega. We're trying to show her what it's all about. So the big race is coming up the weekend of May 5th. Elliott Sadler joins us on the program now. Elliott Sadler, how the heck are you, man?
I am doing good. How are you guys doing today?
Living the dream.
Yes, we are doing great.
Living a dream, and we're trying to get somebody to be a NASCAR fan. All you got to do is bring them to the races next week.
There you go. That's what I told her. That's exactly what I told her, Elliott. I told her, you got to go out to Talladega. You experience that infield one time. You're hooked.
Yeah, you need to go, especially now that we know Dale Jr. is only going to race at Talladega 2 more times.
Gosh, I know.
Now would be a good time to go. I'm sure the fans are going to be fired up for that. And one thing about racing, and I've always told my friends this, TV doesn't know justice at all for the speed. You have to get there and see it, smell it, and hear it, and see actually how fast our cars go. It's almost like watching an NBA basketball game on TV. You don't realize how big those guys really are till you see them in person. It's kind of the same thing with racing.
Yeah, there's nothing like watching it in person. It's great on TV, but man, watching it in person, and when the cars come by, Andrea, it just rattles you, and it's you feel good. It's
the ground shaking when we all come out of Talladega because we all race there so close. The whole pits, the ground, and everything shakes like an earthquake each lap. Which for a race fan, the first few times feeling that is definitely something that kind of gets your heart racing.
I'll tell you what gets me is the smell.
Yes.
The smell of the tire and the fuel and all that, that's what gets me.
Yeah, I think that's part of the element as well. And like I said, to really understand the sport, to see it there in person and what goes on with these pit stops, and these guys are doing 11-second pit stops. And, we do talks to fans and stuff all the time. I'm like, look, one of the hardest jobs is being a pit crew guy. They got to run around the car and jack the car and change tires and put fuel in all under 12 seconds. And, by the way, the speed limit on pit road at Talladega Speedway is 70 miles an hour. So imagine going out on the highway and jumping out in front of all these cars coming at 70 miles an hour and do your job and not worry about it. So those guys have a special, unique talent as well, and I'm fortunate enough to have a good group.
I would agree, Elliott, that I do have nothing but admiration for the pit crew and what they do. That is a well-oiled machine of people doing their jobs.
Well, I caught some flack yesterday because in one of my newscasts I said that one of the world's most popular athletes has announced he's retiring, and a couple of people hit me up on Twitter going, athlete. I'm like, yes, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is an athlete. Every race car driver, you guys are athletes, and you have to be in tip-top shape.
Well, you tell those guys that hit you up on Twitter, and you tell them I said it. It came from me, Elliott_Sadler. Anybody that doesn't think we're athletes, I will challenge them in any kind of sport they want to challenge, other than ice hockey.
Yeah.
I'll play them in baseball, who can hit the ball the furthest or throw it the furthest. A game of one-on-one basketball, who can throw a football the furthest or tackle the hardest. Golf, who can hit the golf ball the furthest. Any kind of sport they want to play against me to see if I'm an athlete or not, they're welcome to. Let me see if they can back up what they're shoveling.
Now, our producer, Big Dave's over there going, would he take you on in arm wrestling?
You might get me in arm wrestling, but if we do a best of 3 out of 5 in sports, I guarantee I'll get you.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Exactly.
We hear that all the time about athletes, and we train hard just like everybody else. I think the one thing that that hurts us with that perception is when you look. I'm a huge sport. I played 6 sports in high school growing up. You see the person playing on the court, or you see the person playing in the field of baseball. In race cars, you don't always see what's going on inside the car. All you see is the car itself. So it's a lot different. People really don't know that it's 150 degrees inside the car where your head is, and probably 200 degrees where your toes are. There's no timeout. We lose 8 or 9 pounds per race. So we have to do a lot of things to train as well, and also run the cars on the edge, half an inch apart, 200 miles an hour like we'll be doing next week at Talladega. So it definitely takes some hand-eye coordination.
Wow.
But being that you don't get to see it, you just see the cars on TV, I think change the perception of people's views.
Elliott, does the G-force affect you a lot when you're going, like at Bristol and stuff like that?
Yeah, G-forces, Texas usually pulls a lot of G's, and so does Bristol. Bristol pulls just over 2 G's per corner per lap.
Wow.
So that's 1,000. So that's 1,000 times in a 500 lap race. that our body is going to pull a little bit over 2 G's in the corner, just the way it sits you down in the seat. So, you ask any pilot, what 2 G's feels like, and they have to try to do that 1,000 times. It's part of it. And it pulls on your back. That's why a lot of drivers have lower back issues. It pulls on your back a little bit, but it's all part of it. But definitely something your body has to go through.
That's why it's one of the most exciting sports, and it is a sport. And, to hear you mention that 9 pounds per race, it sounds like I need to go on the NASCAR diet.
Yeah, the bad part is, when I've told people that before, I'm like, well, it's mostly water. You'll gain it back by Tuesday. You should rehydrate yourself and be back ready. So sorry for the disappointment on that front.
And you didn't explain all the ways that you get rid of that water, did you?
It sweats you sweat most of it out, don't you?
Yeah, people ask us all the time, what do you have to do if you have to go to the bathroom in the car? And what they don't realize is we sweat so much during the race. It sweats out of our body.
Right.
I guarantee you, we drank as much water and Gatorade and all those things before the race starts. We usually start 48 hours ahead of time, just pumping water and stuff into your system. And by the time the race comes, when you start sweating it out of your body, that's usually where it goes. My suit is a lot heavier after the race than it is before the race. See, and that's another thing, too. We wear 3 layers of fireproof material inside the car. Mm. And so that makes it kind of hot as well, but it's all stuff that we train for. Like, I train different than other athletes. I play a lot of different sports and train for them, too, but training in a race car, we sit in the steam room a lot. We sit in the sauna a lot. In your lungs, used to breathe in hot air. We train in a heated gym instead of an air-conditioned gym. We wear sweatsuits and stocking caps and all those things, doing all of our Tabata and CrossFit training that we have to do to stay fit, because we want our body used to being in hot temperatures, because that's where our workplace is. Exactly.
Wow, I knew a lot went into it, but, man, I didn't realize it was that in-depth.
No.
Yeah, you got to. You train and then now we're all wearing heart rate monitors. It's something NASCAR's let us do. We've always trained with heart rate monitors, of course, just like everybody.
Right.
But now here recently, NASCAR's let us use heart rate monitors in the car. So now we have a full database of exactly how much our heart rate is the whole entire race. So we know when we train, we need to be around that heart rate or higher to make sure we stay in shape.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Sadler, I got a question for you. What do you think about the new stages that are in NASCAR nowadays?
Uh-oh. You went there.
Let me tell you something. I was very skeptical of it when I heard about it this spring, like in January when they announced it. I'm like, oh, man, I don't know about this. And honestly, when I got to Daytona and we got to racing in the race and it was coming up on the first stage, it's like every driver went crazy. Just started taking real risky moves and being very aggressive, trying to get those bonus points. And we were able to win both stages at Daytona, first race of the year. And I'm like, holy cow, the racing has changed. We actually use different strategy now because of the stages. I love it because there's so much gambling that comes along with it. Now that a caution is going to come out, just like in basketball, watching NBA playoffs right now. When the quarter is going to end. When the shot clock is going to end. So you can take chances and be aggressive and do different things knowing that the shot clock's going to save you, like if you're playing defense or what have you. Same thing in racing. That the stage is coming to an end, so I can take a chance on pitch strategy. I can take a chance on fuel mileage. I can take a chance at Talladega Speedway, try to get out of the draft and make a pass. They're not going to hang that to dry but so long because a caution is going to save me.
Right.
So it's changed our strategy a lot inside the car, and I absolutely love the stage racing. It's brought some animosity because everybody races so much harder now during the middle part of the race, but I think at the end of the day, that's great for the fans.
And I think those fans at Talladega are absolutely going to love it because fans are great at every track, but Talladega are some of the most exciting fans in the entire sport. I think they're going to love the stages in person. I think it's going to be amazing.
Well, I think it's going to be a crazy race. And Talladega is so big and so wide. We can run 2 and 3 wide around there, no problem. And now with the stage racing, now not only do you got to be aggressive at the end of the race, trying to get the checker flag, now you have to be aggressive at the end of the stage racing. So we're going to see more blocking. We're going to see more bump drafting. We're going to see more side drafting there to get to the stages because as we're learning so far in this short season of ours, the bonus points are getting racked up by certain teams. And you don't want that team to have so much of an advantage when you get to the playoffs. So guys are going to start being more aggressive. And Talladega is that kind of place. You can be more aggressive there than anywhere else you run at because it is so much bigger, it is so much wider, and the restrictor plates are involved.
Right. And you're the defending Sparks Energy 300 winner at Talladega going back into the race there this year. May 6th, we're looking forward to it. You're going for your third win of the past 4 events that Saturday.
How about that? That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, we're going for 3 of the last 4 on Saturday, and actually we announced yesterday I'm going to also run in the Cup race on Sunday, and Tommy Baldwin's Golden Corral car, same car we had in the Daytona 500 that we had a shot to win. So,
nice.
I'm pulling double duty at Talladega and looking forward to it.
Well, we look forward to seeing you out there. And I've got one quick question because I know you've got to run and we do as well. But yesterday, Junior announcing that he's retiring. You drive, of course, the One Main Financial car for JR Motorsports. Man, what are your thoughts on Junior retiring?
I am so proud of him, and I told him that yesterday morning when he and I texted back and forth. I am so proud of him to be able to make this decision in his life. I think he wants to do this now because he's 100% healthy. He wants to go out on his terms. You ask any professional athlete, any sport they play, they want to end their career on a high note in their own terms. They don't want to end because of injury or lack of performance, anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go out on your own terms, and I think that's why he's made this announcement this early to let his fans know
right.
This is his last year in case you want to see him. But I think he's going to end his racing career on his terms. He's still going to be very active from the ownership standpoint, like he does with Junior Motorsports every day. And like I said, to make that decision, I know was very hard, but I think he's looking forward to that next chapter of his life with his family, with Amy and everybody involved, and being a team owner.
Absolutely. Elliott, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to call us here. And great work yesterday. I saw you visited a school talking about NASCAR's Green Energy project. That's huge, man.
Hey, guys, man, thank you so much for having me and talking about the race next weekend. And we look forward to seeing everybody come out. I really appreciate it.
All right, Elliott Sadler, look forward to seeing you out at Talladega next weekend. NASCAR driver Elliott Sadler from the Xfinity Series, driver of the number one main financial car for JR Motorsports. How cool to have him on just the day after Junior announces he's retiring.
Right. And so now will Talladega be experiencing this whole new staging, if you will? Will
yes.
this be the first time in this race
at Talladega
that he's going to be in? Okay.
Yeah, at Talladega. We've got some audio from Dale Earnhardt Jr., too, for those of you. Since we just had a NASCAR segment, I wish we had the minute and a half now to play it, but we will wait when we come back from break. I'm going to play the audio of Dale Earnhardt Jr. He had a pretty somber goodbye yesterday afternoon, announcing that he's retiring. You know, I think it hit him in that press conference. We'll play the audio of that, get back to other news of the day. As long as we don't have to talk North Korea again, I'm okay.
This is Yellowhammer Radio.